Hey, Code Blue family, I'm super excited about For the Love of series. And in today's episode, we're going to get into just a little bit more about For the Love of as far as playing your role, right? You love your purpose, you love your identity for what you're creating within your business. However, I want to be sure to focus on how to understand how to play your role now so that you're able to do more of what you want to do later. You have to learn how to buckle down now so that you can do what you want to do later, right? And so we'll get into some of that within this video. So, for example, for me to be able to prepare for my day, right? For me to be able to manage all of my daily responsibilities and be able to spend more time on my business, I'm in a season of I'm doing anything and everything possible to save myself time when it comes to my responsibilities, right? So, for example, like right now, I'm caregiving for my mom, as well as I'm also, I have household responsibilities like grocery shopping, right? That's just something that I take on within my household. I know that other households, the husband might do it, someone else might do it, whatever that case may be. But in my household, I do the grocery shopping, right? To make sure that we have all the food that we need for the week. So for myself, I am in an area where being in like the Atlanta surrounding areas, I'm able to utilize Instacart. Instacart saves me so much time with having to like fight through traffic, go to the grocery store, spend more time picking out all the ingredients. Like I just rather focus on building my business and what that may look like for me. So I also utilize like different, different stores on the Instacart platform, like Sam's Club. I buy different medical supplies that my mom might need as well. So by doing so, I can easily hit the Instacart button. I know what time my groceries are coming or whatever items I'm getting are coming. And then it allows me to be able to focus on my business. And I utilized Instacart all last year. And so I'm going to continue to do it this year as well. I only go to the grocery store like if I absolutely have to. But that's just me personally because it's helping me save time and energy when I can focus more so on my business. So you want to think about that. You want to think about exactly like what can I do to schedule dedicated time and what can I do to make my life easier, right? For some of you, you may not have the means to whereas you're able to utilize Instacart right now. Maybe you set it up to within your schedule that you have a specific day. Hey, on this day I'm going to go to the grocery store. I'm going to make sure I have all the ingredients that I need so that I can meal prep so that I don't have to spend time throughout the week cooking meals when I could be working on my business. So you want to think about those things and be more innovative when scheduling dedicated time for working on your business. And then you want to treat your business as far as like when it comes down to scheduling tours. Oh gosh, I'm over here thinking about real estate, you guys. When it comes down to scheduling time, you want to treat time within your business like it's an appointment. So if like, okay, I'm working on my business from 6 to 7 or 6 to 8, and someone wants me to, oh, hey, can you go here? Hey, I have an appointment at that time. And the appointment is going to be with you working on your business. You don't necessarily have to always disclose what you're doing and why you're doing it. I believe that silence, especially in the building stages of entrepreneurship, is a sign of maturity, right? So you don't always have to tell people what you're doing. Let your work speak loudly to the public. So make sure that you're scheduling that time, right? So treat your time that you are working within your business like an appointment, right? And then also set micro goals. That's highly important. Break your big dreams into small actionable steps. And we've talked about this before. If your big goal is to make, 5,000 a month, within your business, if that's your goal, right? You want to set small goals like, hey, let me focus on making, 1,000 this week, or let me focus on making $100, every 3 days, whatever that may look like for you. Set micro goals because you'll be surprised how you'll start to overcome them. And by doing so, again, this is all a part of playing your role, right? So also just focus on one task at a time. Make sure that you're researching, you're marketing, you've built your website, and you've created a plan. when building like websites, and we've talked about this also briefly as well, it doesn't have to be it doesn't have to be $1,000 website out the gate, right? It can be something small that you created on Wix. There's so many platforms that make the process of creating a website easy, like GoDaddy or Wix, to whereas you can start off with a small traditional website, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's helping you as far as you grow, and then as your business grows, as you obtain more revenue within your business, yes, you can expand to some of those nicer websites and have so many different features and things that go into that. But you want to you just want to start ultimately. And then also use your current role to learn. So for example, if you happen to work within a photography studio and you know that you want to be a solo photographer, maybe what you're learning there at the studio that you're working at is going to help prepare you for when you are solo and you're on your own. So take heed to that. Maybe the process for which they do contracts is very smooth, or the way that they generate leads for the photography studio, or the different types of services that they offer. Those are things that you're going to want to pay attention at. I believe that everything that we do in life is intentional, and where we're placed at certain moments and certain times, it's important and it's key for growth for you. And if you take a situation for which you may have been graced with and you can learn from that, it'll help you as you advance within your entrepreneurship journey. Also, we want to talk about eliminating time wasters. I briefly just described, just my journey. I'm trying to get all of my time back as possible. And so for me, that started small. Like, hey, I don't want to spend 5 hours grocery shopping. I want to work on my business. Or for you, it may even be something as simple as, I don't want to spend, each day washing clothes. I remember, you guys, when I first got married, I used to wash clothes all the time, because I just felt like it was so much laundry for two people, and I don't even understand how that many people have so much laundry. But I would pick specific days, like, okay, these are my designated days, Monday, Wednesday, to wash clothes, because I'm not going to spend time, spot treating and washing clothes and making sure I have fabric softener and detergent. There's just so many things that go into that. So I want to make sure that I'm not doing it every day, but I have 2 designated days from this time to this, from point A to point B, to do those things so I can focus on my business, right? And then we also want to talk about, of course, overcoming challenges. So those challenges, let's just be real. When it comes to challenges within your business, it's not always like smooth sailing. Sometimes some of the challenges you may face, you may not be privy to. Like, it may just kind of hit you and you're not aware of. I remember, and this is so funny, and I'm sure if anyone watches this, who may be a seasoned realtor, they may understand this. I always have to give you guys a real estate example. It wouldn't be a Code Blue episode without it, right? So I remember when I decided to get my broker's license in Illinois, I was under the impression that because now, just kind of give you guys a little background, people who are individual agents who are licensed in Georgia also have reciprocity with the state of Illinois. With the state of Illinois, I was under the impression that reciprocity meant, hey, as long as I show the commission or whatever regulation board, I didn't know the name at that time, but of course, whatever the regulation board was in Illinois, my Georgia license, that I'm good and I can practice in that state. When that is not how that process worked. And it became a challenge because I had to not only figure out, what I'm like, well, how do I figure out what the laws are? I had to pay for a course, take that course, figure out how to schedule my tests, figure out all the paperwork. There were like at least, I would say, probably 10 steps that I had to do before I could actually be a realtor, a licensed realtor in that state, and actually practice and advertise myself as an Illinois real estate broker. So I think that sometimes we have challenges within our industries as business owners, as entrepreneurs, and I know that it can definitely feel overwhelming, but just kind of taking time to take a breath and don't lose sight of what the bigger picture is. I could have easily gave up and said, oh no, this is too much work, I'm not doing this, but I buckled down, I completed the task that needed to be completed, I took the test in order to be licensed in Illinois, and I was able to pass on my, my first try. But in saying that, it may look like something different for you. You may realize, like I said, if it's photography, oh, I want to do a certain niche within that, but I don't have, these are all the items that I need, or I might need certain lighting, or whatever that may look like for you. It's important for you to not be overwhelmed by that challenge, but just figure out micro steps, micro goals to be able to reach your big goal, right? And again, this is also not feeling overwhelmed. That's another way of just making sure you play your role within the process. Like being flexible within the journey, being flexible and getting comfortable with being uncomfortable. Also, self-doubt. Self-doubt is super big, especially when you're starting a business or even if you're scaling a business. Maybe you stepped away for a while and you're coming back to your business. That's another way that it's important that even when you talk about self-doubt, sometimes it's important for you to surround yourself by people who believe in you. You don't want to surround yourself by individuals who don't believe in your vision. They don't believe in your business. They don't believe in your brand and what you're trying to accomplish. So find a community, whether that's Facebook groups, a local organization, attend conferences, meet new people. That'll help you kind of get rid of that self-doubt, and it'll contribute towards that. Also, you can join our Kode Blue family. Be sure to click the link below. Join our Kode Blue family. We're going to be doing some great things in the coming months. I want to be able to just really kind of hone in and help you guys more as far as like reaching your goals and your journey. So that's important as well. And then also, you want to alleviate lack of support. Don't wait for others to cheer you on. So, for example, you may be in a space where it's just you, and that's okay. Like the people will come, the support will come, the help will come. But this season may look like you don't have a lot of support, or you may not have any at all. So don't wait for others to cheer you on. Be your biggest supporter. Always be confident in what you're doing. Be confident in your growth. Be confident even when you have losses. It's okay. We understand that, as entrepreneurs, there are going to be times where we mess up or we may drop the ball. But let's make a resolution and not an excuse, right? We want to correct our actions and not, try to make excuses for them. And that may look like different things for each individual, but you want to be sure to also don't be so hard on yourself. I remember when I first started out on my journey, I will never forget this, you guys. I remember it was my first real estate deal. And I had two mentors that I was working with at the time, and I had a contract that I was sending out. It was like the very first house I ever sold. And I remember I sent over the contracts to my mentors because that was like the protocol at the company I was at the time. They're like, hey, you got a deal. Congratulations. Fill out the contract for the buyers to sign. And then I sent my contract over to my mentors to review. But it was so funny because regardless if they caught the mistake or not, because there ended up being a mistake on the contract, the very first one I had, it was still my responsibility to acknowledge hey, I made a mistake. And ultimately the mistake I made was, it was new. I was working within new construction. And so there were certain specs that were going to go into the home. And one of them, this particular community, it only offered what is it? I don't know why I'm drawing a blank right now, you guys. It only offered the laminate cabinets and countertops, right? It did not offer, that particular community did not offer granite in the kitchen of the homes, right? In this particular community, that wasn't a spec that was being offered to residents who were buying townhomes in this particular community. And so the contract went out with giving her the options for granite, and that was a field where it's hey, what color granite do you want? And I didn't realize that until after she had signed. And so I had to go back and tell her hey, this particular field option was not supposed to be included on your paperwork. And, we don't have granite in that particular community. And it ultimately ended up being a real big deal. But I had to give her, options and say, hey, acknowledge that I made a mistake. Acknowledge, because I can't sit here and blame it and say, oh, my mentors they looked at it and, they were supposed to see that there was an accident. No. I was supposed to take acknowledgement for my error, in which I did. And then I ended up telling her, like, hey, these are the options that we're willing to give you for the community. Now, there was a lot of going back and forth to the point where the builder ultimately said, hey, you know what? This has been, overly challenging. We've apologized. Kai just apologized to her. So if she wants granted, here's the price point. And ultimately, she didn't like that. So she ended up choosing one of the cabinet options that was specifically designed for the community as well as the other houses. But I'm saying all of this to say sometimes we may make mistakes. Acknowledging your mistake, learning from that, and taking action to have a resolution is also a way that you can play your role. Also, while following your dreams, it may not be easy, but it's definitely worth it. I always talk about real estate. It's rewarding. I love it, but it may not always be easy for me, whether it's, for you, photography. It may be, you have a food service business, or, you may be an artist. Whatever that may be for you, it's not going to always be easy. What I want you to do is let me know in the comments. I'm giving you guys some homework, right? So drop in the comments, like, what's one step that you are going to take this week towards your dream? And of course, like, tell me a little bit more in detail. So like, if you're going to take a step, tell me, like, I'm going to do XYZ this week. And then also tell me, like, what specific days, and also like the time frame. So if hey, I'm going to write my book today. These are the days I'm going to write my book, whether it's Monday and Friday, and I'm going to start writing from 7 to 9 p.m. each day, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. each day. I want to hear I want to hear about it and sound off in the comments. Also, don't forget, of course, if you guys like this video, you want to see more content like this, or even if there's any specific topics that you want me to cover, be sure to like, subscribe, drop even that in the comments below to let me know. Kode Blue, I absolutely love spending time with you guys, okay? And I look forward to just talking with you more, and also for you guys to join the Kode Blue family as we grow and build. Talk to you guys soon. Bye.